In this series, I take a look at important issues in public art, how it functions as places for play, how it fits into our world, and how it lays hidden, waiting to be explored. I'm going to be travelling around an Australian city which has many fine examples of public art and public art spaces. Adelaide. Adelaide is the capital of South Australia. A vibrant city, it is located on the southeast coast of the state, and it is affectionately known as the Festival City. In this week's episode, we will journey through one of the most important facets of public art and its environment. This is Public Art in Situ. I want to find out how public art sits in its environment. If it has been plonked there like a piece of plop art, or if it has actually become part of the urban landscape. Or indeed, if we can take the words environmental art at its most literal sense and see if we can discover the relationship between public art and its surrounding natural environs. Let's start our journey by taking the words public art and the environment a little too literally. We are now at the River Torrens, jewel in the crown that is Adelaide. As it snakes its way through the landscape, it is a place of relaxation and pleasure. Tourists and locals alike enjoy its many delights. Over there, as you can see, are a group of sculptures. They are called Talking Our Way Home by Sean Kirby as part of the Thylacine project. They are constructed from a combination of steel, glass and paintwork. The artist worked with a team of 4 people to design this piece. Created in 2005, this piece is evident of public art, of environmental art. This public artwork is literally in its environment. The environment in question is the River Torrens. It's actually inside their natural environment. When viewing this artwork, one is reminded of a lotus flower. Lotus flowers are those eastern flowers that hover serenely on a lake, and this piece does just that. This public artwork was designed not to be a burden on its natural environment. It also goes much deeper, as the piece has connections to not only Adelaide, but to the country, as the artist's family came to this nation from the United Kingdom. In fact, the artist may have spent some time at a hostel near where these current artworks are now placed. The piece of public art feels connected to the river and to the nearby fountain. Both can be construed as the same piece. Cellini, a European sculptor, once said that all natural landscapes were themselves pieces of art. Okay, right now I'm going to take you to a piece of public art that has a lot of significance for me. Right this way. We travel now to a place in and on this journey that has tremendous significance for me for many reasons. This is the West End of Adelaide, where I was educated not only in a scholastic kind of way, but also in the school of life. I wrestled with new ideas, and I wrestled with other wrestlers as well. But we are here to look at this piece of public art. And here it is. This artwork is the third piece in a series of works called Songs of Australia. It is a satirical piece designed to poke fun at home ownership in modern day Australia. It was produced in 1999 in red brick. In fact, it is made entirely of this stuff. It has the look of the doors and the windows of being boarded up. But try as you might, you won't be able to get in. When I studied at the School of Art, I saw this piece every day. Originally, I thought it housed dangerous chemicals inside of it. I was scared of it. For many years I passed this structure in fear of it. It was only a few months from graduation did I learn the truth. When I learned it was a piece of art and not a chemical storehouse, I was truly shocked. I began to see this sculpture differently. I began to see it as a fascinating piece of public art. This piece is interesting because in a way it reminds me of plop art, a term to describe public art that seemed to be plopped in place, like it in a city environment. Kind of like a concrete truck in the middle of a grassy meadow. It suggests formlessness and ugliness. I think it's neither. This public art piece is situated right in the middle of this big piece of land between the buildings. Because of this central position, it was seen by some as out of place. In other words, it was kind of in the way. This piece took away the emphasis from the music concerts that used to be played here. It interrupted the space. It interrupted the environment. Only one other time have I seen a large setup being constructed here, and that was for an award ceremony, not a music concert. How would you feel if someone had stuck a gigantic steel column in your back garden? You wouldn't appreciate it very much. And for some people, this public art piece brought those kinds of feelings. But not me. It's had a real emotional connection with me. It may have given me feelings of terror at first. But if a public artwork got to you emotionally somehow, then it's done its job. Right, viewers, I think it'll be much quicker to walk it to the next place. It's a place called Hurtle Square in the southeast of the city. A thoroughfare filled with restaurants and boutiques in the southeast section of the city. It's a very relaxed part of the city. I think you find that this next piece of public art is indeed very interesting. And here I am. This is it. We've come to a sculpture made by Anton Hart in 2003 out of steel and granite. It is called the Forest of Dreams, and I first came about this piece after I did the exploratory thing and I wanted to see more of the city. What I found stunned me. You can easily read it as the Forest of Dreams, but also you can also read it as the dreams of the forest. The words can be read either way, and are designed to be read as you travel towards the work from the streets. The artist of this piece designed it with this place in mind. As you can see from the square, there are several streets which seem to be converging towards it. In fact, there was planned for a companion piece directly across the side of this one. The four words function as a way of separating the space of the square and are key to unlocking the place's mysterious and recent past. The benches that accompany each of the four words allow the public to rest and observe their surroundings. I think this piece is one of the most pertinent works in this investigation. You could say it is a shining example of site-specific art, public art that is tailored to the site it resides in, and in this case it's Hurtle Square. This piece was created with this place in mind. I feel that public art does not necessarily dominate the area that it is placed in, but instead accentuates it. At the end of our journey, we have come to Rundle Mall, one of the centres of shopping and nightlife in the city. It is Australia's first pedestrian street mall. There are many lovely things in Rundle Mall, but one of the loveliest things is Bert Flugelmann's public art sculpture. Locally known as the Mall's Balls, or Rundle Mall's Balls, The sculpture is in fact called Spears. And yes, I am well aware of the sex joke. It was made in the 1970s, where all manner of metallic geometric objects were the rage. This work is important not only as a permanent symbol of the city of Adelaide itself, but also it is the pinnacle of public art's idea of in situ, as it has a deep connection to the urban environment it is in. Every person I have ever talked to about the piece itself has said that they do not see it as a piece of public art, but as a feature of the mall.
This sculpture is as natural as to the urban environment as the flagstones beneath my feet.
It is that ingrained into our subconscious. Rondon Mall always looks like this. It is considered a part of the mall itself and not as a separate entity.
And this is what I think public art does. It has the power to transform the environments that it's in. It has the power to merge notions of environment, whether natural or urban, into one seamless whole. It has the power to accentuate the environment that's in, to make it better, to make it more wonderful, to make it more social.
Both public art and its environment needs each other, each entity highlighting each other's best features. Public art can be a symbol of the space it resides in, and if it was taken away, the space will feel different. It will feel lifeless and bare.
Just imagine if this piece of public art wasn't there. It would feel all unnatural and unfamiliar.
After all, before the Spears was installed, it was going to be a gigantic robot in the center of the mall. Have a think about that. In this episode, we looked at public art and the space it's in. We saw public art that harmonizes with a river, a natural environment, a sculpture that was misinterpreted as a building, a public art space that invites us in from all four directions, and an artwork that is so famous it has become a part of the city. I firmly believe that public art isn't just a pretty face. It isn't just a decorative statue in the center of public property. Public art is much, much more than that. If all the elements of architecture, landscape design, and the artists of the artwork are brought together and they thrive, public art will transform the place in question. It will provide a focal point. It will become a piece of the urban ecology. Public art spaces are an important part of the dynamic between a city and her people. We may think a piece fits within its environment, or we may think it does not. All public art delivers rewards, however. They generate life. They serve as an emotional connection to the city that we live in. They serve as an identity of us and the city, and they can educate. They can be great symbols of democracy. Public art and its environment goes together like butter and toast. The relationship between public art and the environment is a perfect one because it is built on solid foundations. And that is public art in situ.